After his father had been missing for decades, a man made a shocking discovery in his basement. That is the topic we shall be covering today on our video with Top 5 Best with your ever lovely narrator, Gentleman T-Rex. Today we're going to be telling you a tale that you'd almost expect to read in an Edgar Allan Poe story. But like that old saying goes, the truth is always stranger than fiction. And the story you're about to hear is no exception to that one, buddy boy. So if you like a good mystery, well, you've clicked on the right video. Keep watching till the very end, because it's an ending that's going to blow your mind. In 1961, Mike Carroll's father George left his home one night, his wife Dorothy claiming that he went out to go buy cigarettes. Only, George never came back home. In fact, his son Mike never saw his father ever again. Not that his brain was recording memories for him to go by. Mike was only an 8-month-old baby when his father went missing. And what's strange about Dorothy's claim that George went to go buy a pack of smokes, well, it'd be hard to do so without your wallet. And that's exactly what George happened to leave behind. His wallet with the money he would have needed to buy his cigarettes. As he grew older, Mike Carroll never really saw how his mother's testimony of his dad's disappearance made sense at all. And it only got worse that when he would inquire about his father, Dorothy would just plainly tell the boy, "Don't ask." Well, that's not at all a red flag when someone asks you about your missing husband and you tell him not to worry about it. Rumors were about as to where old George went, with family members believing that he left it all behind to go back to Korea, a decade after fighting over there in the Korean War. I don't know who wants to go back to the country they fought a war in, let alone go back and live there, so obviously this excuse didn't really hold up. Not to Mike at least. It was later on revealed that no one filed a missing persons report for George Carroll, which meant no police work was done in response to finding him. Well, that's odd, am I right? Your husband and the father of your children go missing, and you just up and forget to go tell the cops about it? When Dorothy herself finally kicked the bucket in 1998, Mike bought the old family house on Olive Street, with the intent of at least putting to rest one burning question in the back of his mind. Around the time of his dad's disappearance, there was a dark rumor going around that George had never really left, but was in fact dead and buried underneath the house basement, which at the time he went missing was being constructed. At first, the search didn't go quite as planned. He was, in his own later admission, digging in the wrong spot. It got to the point where it became dangerous for him to continue, due to the fear that this house would collapse on itself with him under it. So he stopped digging and decided to re-strategize his plan. While he still had to remove the concrete basement floor by himself, piece by piece, he hired experts who specialized in ground-penetrating radar. The technology uses electromagnetic radiation to scan below the ground to build a picture of subsurface structures. And when the switch was flipped, lo and behold, they found something buried 6 feet under the basement floors. Using the help of a psychic because, I mean, why not? Mike enlisted his 2 sons to help him dig in a spot where the psychic felt the most energy. It's also interesting to note that as a kid, Mike had a friend who claimed to have seen a man standing in a doorway, but later on vanished. Whether or not you believe those sort of things is up to you, but dig the Carroll boys did. 7 feet deep, Mike's sons Christopher and Michael Jr. found something. They alerted their father, who ran into the basement to see what they had uncovered, the remains of a human being. First he told his siblings, and then he told the police the next day, which, as if this couldn't get any bigger of a coincidence, was Halloween. After taking the bones and doing whatever it is they do to them on CSI, it was finally revealed in December of 2018 that George Carroll had indeed been buried in his basement. 60 years later, his children and grandchildren had dug him up. Now on to the last question that probably will never get answered unless they dig up a secret diary. How did George die? According to the medical report, he was indeed murdered, and also had signs that pointed to trauma caused by a blunt hit to the head from something big and heavy. However, there was also another theory that the impact of the skull could have happened after George had already died. Either way, the key players in this mystery, those who would have been privy to the truth, are long gone. For Mike Carroll, he summed it up best of his 2 kids. "I tell my sons, we hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. We found our dad, so we win." At least Mike can sleep well, finally having some semblance of the truth. Anywho, that's it for this video, everybody. Don't forget to drop a like down below, because we're top 5 best, and thanks for watching, guys. See you around next time.